Okay. Hi, everybody. Thanks, Chris. I know I didn't get a chance to hear from you, but so I wish I was there with you. So had my sombrero, but enjoy your tacos. I'm Kelly Rowe. I have actually been with LegalShield for almost 30 years, for going on my 29th year, and was just so excited to be able to work with Hopelight. I met your leadership team and they just thought that, it was time, right, to increase your benefits package and bring in these two new benefits. So legal and identity theft. Again, excited. We're definitely award winning. We just won Best Overall Legal Plan for Forbes for the fourth year in a row, and we win every year the Cybersecurity Award with IDShield. So I know you're eating. I just want to take a couple minutes. Here we are, right? Cinco de Mayo on Taco Tuesday. Doesn't always happen. I love this, right? This is what we've been training for. But really, what got my attention was when I looked at where Cinco de Mayo came from. I don't know if anybody's ever looked it up, but it was the victory in Puebla, right, by the Mexican people that, with a much smaller army and just really didn't look good. They beat the French, right? And so it wasn't Mexican Independence Day, it was just that victory. And so I just love this line that just like the victory at Pueblo, it showed that strength isn't everything, right? And that's what I just wanted to open up the concept, right? Legal Shield gives all of us the power and protection, right? To stand strong, to be proactive, to be able to access our rights, even against big challenges and big institutions. Right. And then I really love this, and hopefully it can open your mind a little bit to what exactly is legal and identity theft protection. But it said, today isn't about celebrating a historic victory. It's about remembering that with the right proactive support, guidance, and protection, anyone can overcome everyday life challenges. That's exactly what you have with Legal Shield and ID Shield. And again, being a member for over 28 years and having all my family have the plan, my many, many clients, I could just tell you story after story after story of just what it means to actually be able to access attorneys, right? I'm an Air Force vet. Shout out to any other veterans in the room. But I just know that we need access, right? We need to level the playing field. We should all have access to attorneys to just make our lives easier, right? To have that guidance, to have those resources. But at three, four, $500 an hour, that's kind of the concept, right? That we're priced out of the legal system. And that's why Legal Shield was started 54 years ago. We have now close to 5 million members. 5 million lives protected in the US and Canada. This is our home office. We have about 800 employees that support us and support us as members. And just to let you know, one of the important numbers here is, annually we receive over 2 million requests for service. So it doesn't mean that all of a sudden you're going to have Legal Shield and all these issues are going to come up. It's that there's a lot of issues that we ignore when we don't have access like this. And that's why I'm excited because it just shows you that our members actually use it, right? I called this year for a tax question. They've written letters for me. They've reviewed contracts for me already this year, right? So once we have the access, it's amazing. And remember, just our vision and our mission is to provide that equal access to liberty, equality, opportunity, and justice, that we all deserve. So I just want to take a couple minutes, highlight the plans. Thank you, Chris and the team. I think you do have handouts there with the plan summary and the enrollment form and maybe some other things that you could reference. But like I said, I just wanted to highlight a few things. One of the biggest questions that we get, so I wanted to address it right up front, is who are the attorneys? This plan, as you see on the paperwork, is only $24.95 a month for the entire family. That includes, I know I don't get to see hands raised, but for who's married and who has children, but that one price is whether you're an individual or it does cover spouse or significant other and all your children up to the age of 26, regardless of where they live and regardless of marital status. And so for that 24.95, again, we sometimes get that question, who are the attorneys? Well, I'm excited to say that we are the only legal plan, and probably why we win the awards, that has this top rated, highly experienced, highly paid, dedicated provider law firm network. And I'm excited to say that, I'm here in Florida, so I'm zooming in from Florida. Wish I was there with you. I heard there was some snow. Can't believe it was still snow, but I love Colorado. I've had the opportunity to visit many times. But right there in Colorado, your law firm, Riggs Abney, they have been a law firm since LegalShield. They've been around since 1972 as well. They have over 50 attorneys on staff. They specialize in every area. They've been contracted with us since almost the beginning. And just think about this. How would it feel, right? Now you have access to a law firm with just the best of the best, right? Every year, many of their attorneys are recognized in the list of the best law firms and attorneys. And one of the senior partners, Mike Turpin, used to be the Attorney General of Oklahoma. So the law firm started in Oklahoma, expanded to offices in Colorado, and they are just one of the largest law firms in the two states. And so I just want you to know that as I go through what's covered, the different services and features, that you understand that the law firm that we all have access to, because that's just in your backyard in Colorado, but everything I'm going to mention is nationwide. So even if I did fly right to Colorado or you came here to get out of the snow, as soon as you land in any other state, maybe you're just driving on vacation, everything that I'm covering today is covered nationwide. So just a quick thing, in a nutshell, many of you or some of you might have remembered these plans from other companies, but if you haven't, I just wanted to, really open your mind to thinking about what is a legal plan. So Legal Shield gives us the ability to contact these top rated firms, contact our attorneys in every area of law without worrying about the bill, right? So because of Hopelight, this is coming in as a payroll deduction, and it's about a 50% savings. Yes, a 50% savings off of what our individual plans are, what I pay, right, as an individual. And so just think about it's not about major issues. Yes, we do cover some major things, but even just look, have you ever wanted to prepare your will, living will, get a trust done? Have you ever worried or have you already been a victim of identity theft, right? Just any of those crazy disputes that add so much stress to our life. Maybe it's a homeowner's insurance claim or a car insurance issue. Maybe it's just a traffic ticket or we sign a contract, right? Anytime we sign a contract, we should have an attorney review it because it was created by an attorney, just not ours. And then any kind of consumer disputes, that was the last thing that I had the attorneys write a letter for. And let me just tell you, it was a $147 problem. So think about it logically. Would we ever hire an attorney for a $147 problem? So this is very similar to the plan summary that you have, but let me just highlight a couple of the features. So now that you're a member, right, we have unlimited consultation. That just means whether we have a tax question, a credit question, something from our mortgage company, maybe we're renting and our landlord doesn't want to fix something or doesn't want to give us our deposit back, and we just want to know what our rights are. That's that unlimited consultation. You see here just a screenshot of our mobile app. It's so easy to use and access our attorneys. We request a consult. We tell them a little bit about what area of law it is. We upload any documents or contracts that pertain to it. We say we want to call back immediately or we set an appointment. And then our next step is that we're talking to our attorney. And you see they do legal research. And then one of my favorite parts, again, I just used it for that $147 problem. Our attorneys will write a letter, make a phone call. Doesn't matter how big or small. Again, from $147 to $10,000 with a roofing contractor or just another contractor at the house. anything in between. I mentioned contract and document review. Just think about it. Wouldn't it feel great now going forward that anytime you're going to sign something, you just upload it right to the mobile app or the member portal? I'm going to show you a picture of that at the end. And just to say to that, even when we're buying a car, I used it years ago when I was buying a car just to be able to say, hey, this looks great. Let me have my attorney review it, right? And one thing I just really want to take time and stress, if you do not have your wills, living wills, power of attorney updated, I completely understand. Most families don't. It's very expensive, right, to get this done. But if you haven't had it done or it needs to be updated, that is what one of our main features that we get at no additional charge included in your plan for you, your spouse or significant other, and those older over 18 family members. I just had all this done for my son. He's 19. He left to go to college. And one of the things, guys, and any of the parents out there, you'll understand this. Hey, we still see them as our little children, but over 18, if anything were to happen to him when he was at school, I could not make health decisions without being his healthcare surrogate, right? Having his healthcare power of attorney. So even though the will part was pretty quick, right? His car, his savings account, really it was the other pieces. And knowing that I got that done, even for him, at no additional charge was powerful. And then if you and your family and talking to your attorney, if you decide that you want to get a living will done, a living trust, the trust is done at just a flat $250 per trust, one for you, one for your spouse. And again, in most cases, it's in the thousands of dollars. Probably a zero would be attached there or more. I've had members and employees tell me that they were quoted three, four, $5,000 for a trust. So this is a huge savings. And just remember, why are wills and trusts so important? We want to have the final say. We work hard for our assets, for your homes, for our just everything that we own, right? Everything we've acquired in our lives, and we want to have the last say, not our state. We want to minimize family conflicts, right? We want to assure that if we have loved ones, special needs, or our pets, right? Our fur babies, we just want to make sure that everything is according to our wishes, right? It really does give us huge peace of mind knowing that it's done. And again, most families, it's just not on the top of the list, or it is on the top of the list, but it's hard to find the finances to take care of it. And so now those thousands of dollars, don't have to be paid. It's included. So I just wanted to stress that because if there's no other need at the moment that you can think of, just getting your wills done will pay the premium for your plans for 5, 10 years down the road for just this one feature. But I think, like me, you'll realize that once you have access to this, you'll use it proactively, right? Just like I have as a resource. But let me just highlight a couple other things. Family law issues. We all have family law coming up, whether, issues that just are part of our lives, right? So whether it's uncontested, adoption, name change, child custody issues, divorce, we not only cover uncontested divorce if the marital assets are under 500,000 with neither party having separate representation, but we even give 10 hours of contested divorce. Huge, again, saving us thousands of dollars. If we have post-degree orders that we want help with, we want to know what we can do. Prenups, postnups, right? So it's just positive legal things, right? Getting married. I'm privileged to say I just officiated my nephew's wedding on the 11th of April, so just a couple weeks ago. And so we know getting married is an exciting thing. There's lots of things that are legal in nature that aren't always negative, but I'll tell you, he spent a lot. And afterwards, the next morning when we all went to lunch and we debriefed, there were definitely some things that the venue did not do correctly, and things with the flowers. But imagine, we're signing contracts, right? When things like this happen, even big birthday parties, renting venues, right? So there's just times when the help or the advice of an attorney would better the outcome. Traffic related. We know that our car insurance, right? I think we'd all agree our car insurance is high enough. So, hey, with our plan, three moving violations per member, per membership year. There's the consultation, the advice, and then if they are going to represent us, it's just a $79 flat fee per appearance. And two unused can roll over. There's also help with our driver's license if we find out it's suspended or there's damages and we need help. And then the final features, again, these are some major things. What if we're named in a lawsuit? This is a schedule of hours, kind of like a Sue savings account. 60 hours the first year, every year that you keep the plan, that doubles. So just hundreds of hours already included. If we're ever audited, I know we all just had taxes, last month and some are, extensions. So having those tax questions answered is unlimited. But if we're ever audited, we have 50 hours with a tax attorney. If we're closing on a property once a year, our primary residence, we can work with our real estate attorney. Tenant leases with negotiations. And one thing I want to point out, I really commend what you do. You're a clinic and rehab center and you're working with your clients. And sometimes those are early, right? You're there early, you're there 24/7, you're there on the weekends. Hey, emergencies can happen. Isn't it powerful to know that no matter what, we can get an attorney on the phone 24/7 for emergency situations? And then I just want to mention that we don't exclude anything. We don't exclude anything. So maybe, unfortunately, it's a DUI or a bankruptcy, or maybe the contested divorce goes over 10 hours. Just know that we will never pay the regular attorney fees. That 25% discount is there for anything that isn't specifically covered for free. And I can tell you in my 28 years of owning this plan, I've only had to go to the discount once, and that was for some immigration issues. There's also unlimited e-signatures and online notarization. So if you ever have to get anything notarized, we can save you those fees as well. And then we're super excited about our partnership with and the discount program. So our goal, you're going to see the final slide, is showing you all the different companies. There's over 400 companies that are included in that, even some of our cell phone companies, travel. Hey, Mother's Day weekend is coming up, right? We can get discounts on flowers, chocolates, right? I mean, there are just discount after discount. I saved over $200 on my security system for my home. So just that one usage almost paid for my plan for a whole year. And then I just want to let you know, you'll see on the paperwork, there's legal, ID Shield, or both, and there is a bundled discount. And just to let you know, I know that there are so many identity theft plans out there. Legal Shield IDShield launched in 2004, right? Over 20 years ago. We were in identity theft before it was a household name. And so we have some features and benefits. That's why we win these awards, because we have so many more features, so much more monitoring on the front end, early detection, but we also have privacy and reputation management. No other identity theft plans does what we do to protect our reputation, social media, all of that. I just got an alert for my April alert that they removed my information from 14 different data brokers. That's the privacy. And think about this. Let me help save you money as well. We all buy that malware on all our devices, right? Our laptops, our computers, our desktops. We partner with Trend Micro, so those features are included at no additional charge. The individual plan covers 3 devices. The family plan covers 15. Again, a way not to have to pay for that. The VPN proxy, the password manager, all those things that are, that we spend money on now are included in the plan. Very, very important to protect our information. But two final features I just want to mention. We are the only company that does comprehensive restoration through licensed private investigators. What does that mean to us? It just means that if we ever became a victim, we sign a limited power of attorney and we have our own investigators doing whatever it takes for as long as it takes. And if somehow they cannot remove any, some kind of financial losses, we have a $3 million fraud policy there. So again, as I'm wrapping up, I just want you to see how easy it is to use the plan. if you're not into the mobile apps or sometimes, right, I'm getting older, need bigger print. I love using our member portal, and you can see right through the portal requesting a consult walks us through starting our wills. We are one of those insurance products that we don't put it on the shelf for just in case. It's for everyday life events. It's for being proactive. It's for asking those questions whenever, right? We can have five different attorneys working on five different things. It's asking those questions before we have to make decisions. And so, just to remind you, here's the rates, right? So you'll see right on that, right on the enrollment form, right at the top in red, you'll see legal only, IDShield only, or both. And if you see the family discount, again, it's such a reduction when you combine the plans. There's additional savings. These rates, like I said, the plan for individual coverage, if it wasn't coming in as an employee benefit that covers trust, is 49.95. So you see that 24.95 is a 50% savings. And if you heard about LegalShield outside of Hopelight, right? The nationwide coverage, as I mentioned, and one other really important feature, plans are portable. So if you ever retire or move or leave for whatever reason, just know that you can take the plans and they will stay at the same discounted rates. And so again, I look at all these logos, look at all these everyday companies that we deal with. If we could save, our goal is for you to save 24.95 a month or 40.90 a month. Save more than what your plan costs, and then the premium is absolutely free, right? And so again, I'm going to open it up for questions. I know, Chris, I can't really hear, but I think oh, absolutely. Thank you, Chris. So the we do have a gun owner supplement that you are able to add if you are a gun owner, even as an Air Force veteran, right? The concealed weapon and the biggest thing about that is you might be familiar because you got your concealed weapon or went to a range in Colorado. But what happens when we leave and go to a different state? What are the laws in those states? The gun owner plan for only an additional $14.95. So please write that in. Chris, thank you so much. You can write that at the top by the plan. So if you'd like to add the gun owner supplement, I absolutely recommend it if you are a gun owner because this is our only plan that has criminal coverage. Because, guys, we know laws are crazy. Somebody could be standing in our bedroom, but if we defend ourselves, we are still going to be arrested and have to defend what we did, right? Our actions. And so having criminal and civil coverage through our gun owner, just being able to talk to an attorney about all the laws. There is a flat 250 fee for a gun trust, which, if you know the laws are different in every state, but, we can't just pass a weapon to our right to our family without a gun trust. And so that's really important. And just know, I know this is the first day we're launching everything, right? Your plans are going to go into effect on June 1st. So fill out the paperwork today. You'll see it's just the highlighted areas. Your spouse, we only need your children's birthdays. We only need the last four of your social. But, anybody that enrolls, we really wanted to say thank you. And after, at the end of the month, when we're collecting everything, I know that your HR team, right, with Cami and everybody, we need that paperwork. I know we have Memorial Day weekend coming up, right? And so maybe, they Chris, I don't want to say how early we need it, but maybe, right when everybody gets back from the Memorial Day weekend. So definitely by the 26th, if not sooner. Again, if you're already, I know there's some of you that said, wow, I even heard about these plans. I saw the plan summary before you even started talking, and I knew this was something powerful for our family. And the cost, right? When you think about that 24.95 for about $5, $6 a week, right, to be able to have this kind of protection and access to our rights, you said, hey, you had me at hello, right? That you wanted to enroll. Hey, fill out the paperwork. You know, we're all going to get busy. It should only take a couple minutes. Turn it into the team, but anybody that turns it in, you know, by the end of the month when we're collecting everything, I'm gonna do a raffle. I just want to say thank you for your new Legal Shield team. Again, I've been here for 28 years. I'm hope to be here for 28 more. So please take my email, take my cell phone number, call me, text me, email me. I know with legal issues, sometimes there's a lot of times there's personal questions. So please feel free. You know, your privacy is protected, but if you have any additional questions, please reach out to me. Keep my information. I will be your rep for life. If anything ever comes up, you can always reach out to me after June 1st. You know, again, we're going to send out this recording. So, hi, everybody that's listening to the recording. We wanted you to get a full presentation so that you can really understand it because it doesn't always make sense on paper, right? In just a couple pages. But hopefully, you know, I said something today that, you know, sparked and that you see that even if you only use it for one thing, even only updating your wills or getting a contract reviewed or just a consultation from a top law firm can save us way more than what, you know, our monthly premium is. So thank you so much, Chris. I know if there's anything that you additional that you want to text me, if there's any questions, again, please feel free to reach out. I'm just so honored and excited to be working with Hopelight. And again, I just hope that I can be of service and support you and your family in whichever plans you decide to participate in. But again, thank you so much. And thank you, Chris and the team, for allowing me to come in and for taking care of your people. Guys, not all companies are improving and increasing their benefits package right now. So you know that your team really cares about you. And we just, you know, want to help eliminate some stress, right? And have a resource to call for any of these just everyday situations, legally and identity theft, and definitely for gun owners. So thank you again. I guess, Chris, I can stay on for a couple minutes if there's anybody. Of course, I can't see into that great auditorium, but Chris, let me see. I think this is probably the biggest screen I've ever been on. So probably better that I can't see it. I might be pretty embarrassed, right, to be on the big screen. But again, I can stay as long as needed for any additional questions. And then again, we will send this out. We absolutely want you to be able to share this information with your spouse or significant other so that, you know, they can take full advantage of all the features and benefits as well. So we will make this recording available to everybody. Anything else, Chris? Or I guess we can give a thumbs up on the text. Okay, great. Well, thank you, everybody. Enjoy your Cinco de Mayo. Enjoy Taco Tuesday. And again, I'm excited about our new partnership. So don't hesitate to reach out to me. Thanks so much, Chris and the team. Bye bye, everybody.